No good news, unfortunately, this morning as far as the fight against COVID is concerned. A third straight day now, Kerala has reported over 20,000 cases of coronavirus. In the last 24 hours, if you look at the data, 22,064 new cases and 128 deaths have been reported. The positivity rate in Kerala stands now at 13.53%. Weekend lockdown is already in place to curb the rising COVID cases. The Health Ministry data shows that Kerala has 9,472.2 cases per lakh of its population. India on its part has 2,365.3 cases per lakh of its population. Speaking exclusively to India Today, Kerala Health Minister Veena George claimed a smear campaign against Kerala. This remark came after the centre blamed super spreader events for the surge.
The famed Kerala model is under test. Once hailed for its COVID management, the state is now witnessing a huge surge in coronavirus cases. At an alarming test positivity rate of 12.35%, Kerala accounts for 50% of India's daily cases. It now has nearly 1.5 lakh active cases out of nearly 4 lakh in India, or roughly 38% of the national caseload. The state has reported over 22,000 cases for 2 days in a row, and it has been reporting over 10,000 cases since 20th July. The centre has now rushed a team of experts to Kerala to help in the fight against COVID. There are 10 districts in Kerala that have a test positivity rate higher than 10%.
देश में 22 ऐसे जिले हैं जहां पर कि पिछले 4 हफ्तों में हमने एक इंक्रीजिंग ट्रेंड इन केसेस नोट किया है। यह वृद्धि एक मान लीजिए कि लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ केसेस से थोड़ी भी वृद्धि है तो यह कॉज ऑफ कंसर्न है जिसके लिए हम स्टेट से डिस्कस करते रहते हैं।
This letter that has been written by Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan to the Kerala government, talking about the fact that the central team that visited Kerala in the first week of July has made some observations about what really is going wrong in the state. Containment has to be improved in the state of Kerala. This letter also talks about the fact that certain super spreader events have been witnessed in the state of Kerala, which has clearly led to the spike.
The BJP has blamed the Pinarayi Vijayan government for allowing 3-day relaxations in COVID curbs during Bakri.
We just need to really find why the numbers are going up, why it's not come down, while nationally the numbers are going down. I mean, because we have an excellent medical infrastructure in Kerala, why is the numbers not going down? It's really a big mystery. And everybody is wearing a mask in Kerala as well.
The Kerala government claims the health infrastructure is capable of handling the jump in COVID cases. According to government data, 56.2% of COVID beds, 40.4% of ICU beds and 41.5% of ventilators are available now. But adding to the state's COVID woes, there is also a crippling crunch of vaccines.
There is a plan to campaign against the state, I think, the Kerala state, because as you all know, all the experts in different states say that we have a very good system or we have a very good defensive mechanism.
Frustration is growing among the people over the prolonged lockdown restrictions due to the COVID surge.
വ്യാപാരസ്ഥാനം തുറന്നു പ്രവർത്തിച്ചാലും കോവിഡ് നിയന്ത്രിക്കാൻ നമുക്ക് സാധിക്കണം. അതാണ് സംസ്ഥാന ഗവൺമെന്റ് കേന്ദ്ര ഗവൺമെന്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, മുൻകൈ എടുത്ത് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്.
Once hailed for its containment efforts, Kerala has now a new challenge on its hands as the threat of a third wave looms large. With Gopi Krishnan Unnithan in Thiruvananthapuram, Bureau Report, India Today.
Raj Kundra actor Shilpa Shetty's husband is in the midst of a massive storm over his involvement in making porn films. India Today has now accessed the testimony of one of the young women who claimed that on the pretext of a big Bollywood break, she was forced to shoot a porn movie.
A celebrity business tycoon. A multi-crore porn racket. At the center of which are aspiring models and actresses, exploited by showing them big Bollywood dreams. India Today has accessed sensational testimony of one of these young women who was approached by Kundra's company to feature in adult videos for his app Hot Shots. The testimony is part of a second FIR in the case that has now been transferred to the Mumbai crime branch. The allegations by a small-town girl who dreamt of stardom exposes the dark reality of the pornographic racket. The complainant claims to have been approached by a gang whose 2 members worked for Raj Kundra's app Hot Shots. The victim alleges that he was told that she would be shooting 2 videos in Mumbai's Mud Island and Lonavala. She was promised 1 lakh rupees, but her contract with Hot Shots mentioned just 10,000 rupees. The makers claimed they needed to save tax. But that was just the beginning of the deception. When the girl arrived to shoot the video, she was asked to film adult content. When she refused, the makers tried to convince her that the bold scenes will not be a part of the final cut. The makers also assured her that she would be shown the final version of the videos before the release. It was on this pretext that she was made to shoot 4 videos. But the woman was shocked to see that the nude scenes shot by her were uploaded on Kundra's porn app. Nothing was edited out and her permission was not taken. Worse, she was only paid 3,500 rupees. The victim's statement will now be recorded before a magistrate and could spell more trouble for Raj Kundra. With Saurabh Bakhtania in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Who will be in? Who will be dumped in the Bommai cabinet? That's the big question in the political circuits, and perhaps we'll get some answers today. The newly minted Karnataka Chief Minister Raj Bommai will be meeting with Prime Minister Modi as well as senior BJP leaders and ministers in Delhi today. After his arrival at around 9 this morning, Bommai is expected to visit 7 local landmarks to meet the Prime Minister. Apart from the Prime Minister, he's going to be meeting Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda. The agenda of the meet will be the imminent cabinet formation in Karnataka. The biggest challenge for Bommai will be to balance the different factions, accommodating turncoats and also bringing new faces without alienating old ones. Ahead of Bommai's visit, former ministers R. Ashoka and Umesh Katti were in Delhi lobbying for a berth in the new cabinet. Former Chief Minister Shetty has already opted out of the cabinet race, saying he doesn't want to be part of Team Bommai. Now, DMK Minister K.N. Nehru has triggered a fresh controversy after making rather derogatory remarks about the people of Bihar. On July 23rd, K.N. Nehru said that people from Bihar are not as intelligent as Tamilians. The remarks happened really at an employment camp in Trichy. The minister also added that Lalu Prasad Yadav, as railway minister, had packed various railway departments with Biharis, especially at lower level jobs, even though Biharis are less qualified than Tamilians. Now, Nehru, who is Tamil Nadu's municipal administration minister, accused Bihar residents of snatching away jobs from Tamilians. This remark comes even as TMC MP Mawa Moitra allegedly called BJP MP Nishkant Dubey a Bihari Goonda during a parliamentary committee meeting.
மத்திய அரசு பணிகளிலே நமக்கு
Now, a day after BJP MP Nishikant Dubey accused TMC MP Mahua Moitra of calling him a Bihari Goonda, the whole controversy has turned completely political. From BJP to also netas in Bihar, they've all come out to condemn this alleged remark, which Mahua Moitra claims she never made.
Bihari Goonda. Amidst one of India's most turbulent parliament openings, that's the abusive phrase echoing in the August House. Meet the accuser, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, who says Trinamool MP Mahua Moitra called him a Bihari Goonda. He says that Mahua flung the abuse during a meeting of Parliament's Standing Committee on Information Technology. The two netas had been engaged in a heated exchange over Dubey's privilege motion against the IT panel's chief, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor. When India Today confronted Mahua with the allegation, she denied it, but not directly.
Is it true that this meeting unprecedentedly was called off because there was no quorum and no telecom or home ministry officials who you had summoned were allowed to come to the meeting, and you in turn called Nishikant Dubey a Bihari Goonda?
Rajdeep, I'm very amused at this. I've already tweeted about this.
Mahua says her accuser wasn't even present for the meeting, so there's no question of any name calling, but the BJP MP in question has countered her.
यदि बिहारी गुंडा कहा तो इसका मतलब यह है कि हिंदी भाषी लोगों के प्रति तृणमूल कांग्रेस का व्यवहार क्या है। यदि झारखंडी गुंडा कहता तो भी बात समझ में आती, और बिहारी गुंडा एक बार नहीं 3 बार कहा। ममता बनर्जी को खुद जो है संसदीय दल के नेता हैं, उनको खुद माफी मांगनी चाहिए। महुआ मोइत्रा को जो है पार्टी से सस्पेंड करना चाहिए।
Now I'm supposed to have called somebody a name. Please check the attendance sheet. If that person who he claims I have called him a name, if he were present, then it would have been the 10th. He would have been the 10th name. If he had been the 10th name, there would have been a quorum and the meeting would have continued.
The allegation may be amusing, but the Trinamool won't be smiling about the political heat it appears to have generated.
जो लोग भी अगर ऐसा बयान देते हैं, तो ऐसा बयान नहीं देना चाहिए, और कम से कम ये दुखद है.
Especially at a time when Mahua's boss is on a mission to unify the opposition under her, including in the Hindi heartland. Aggressively seizing the alleged insult, the BJP has accused the Trinamool of insulting all Hindi speakers and playing divisive politics.
बिहार के लोगों को गुंडा कहा जाए, ये 14 करोड़ बिहारियों का अपमान है. आज के बाद आरजेडी को जिन्होंने प्रचार किया था टीएमसी के लिए, बिहार के लोगों से माफी मांगनी चाहिए.
If Mahua Moitra really did unleash a Bihari Goonda tongue lashing at this BJP MP, it flows from similar language used for so-called outsiders during the Bengal election, a running cultural prejudice between the two states. Remember this?
China, China, BJP ke China, 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 Narendra Modi China, 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 Gundader China. কিন্তু এরা বাইরের গুন্ডা দিল্লির, পুলিশ ভয়ে চাকরি ছেড়ে দিচ্ছে, মেয়েদের উপর অত্যাচার হচ্ছে.
As Mamta woos the Hindi parties, could this alleged abuse make things difficult? One thing's for sure, don't expect temperatures to fall anytime soon. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, number 1 archer Deepika Kumari has reached the quarter-finals of the women's individual event. Deepika managed to scrape through to the last 8 after beating Russian Olympic Committee's Ksenia Perova in a thrilling shoot-off. Deepika was leading 4-2 when the 4th set between the two archers ended in a tie. In the 5th, Deepika shot a 7 with her first arrow and that cost her the set. But she kept calm in the shoot-off. Going second after Perova shot a 7, Deepika hit the bullseye for a perfect 10. She'll now face South Korea's An San in what should be a tough quarter-final clash for the Indian. India had a near-perfect day at the office, except for magnificent Mary Kom bowing out of the Tokyo Olympics after losing out to Colombia's Ingrid Valencia. But Mary Kom's loss is more than just disappointment. It also marks the end of an era. The 2012 Olympics bronze medalist won't get another shot at glory, but she will continue, no doubt, to inspire generations that come after her.
These women, as they prepare voting for her.
Is it the end of an era?
Mary Kom.
We'll probably not see the magnificent Mary again at the Olympics. A role model and inspiration, Mary Kom is a phenomenon. The 38-year-old bowed out of Tokyo 2020 after narrowly losing her second-round match based on a split decision by the judges. Colombia's Ingrid Valencia emerged as the winner in a very close contest. Despite looking out of place in the first round, Mary showed why she has been at the top of her sport for so long. Her comeback in the second round was magnificent, just like her nickname. Yet, it was her reactions post the loss that won everyone's hearts. Mary has long been the most successful boxer of her era. She's the only female to win the World Amateur Boxing Championship 6 times, the only female boxer to have won a medal in each of the first 7 World Championships, and the only boxer, male or female, to win 8 World Championship medals. Asian Games champion, Commonwealth Games champion, Olympic medalist. The list just goes on. Despite the heartbreak of her loss, Mary Kom remains India's treasure. After all, you would have to be extremely good at your sport for a film to be made on your life, let alone while you are still an active player. Even if Mary Kom doesn't step into the ring for India again, her legend will live on. Sports Bureau, India Today.
MC Mary Kom sparked a controversy after her loss against Colombia's Ingrid Valencia. According to Mary Kom, she didn't know for hours that she'd actually lost. She'd walked off from the ring thinking she'd won the bout. Mary Kom slapped the IOC boxing task force, calling the judge's decision a rather poor outcome. In an exclusive conversation with India Today, a very emotional Mary said that she thought she was clearly the winner and that she still can't believe the result wasn't in her favor.
So here's Mary Kom. She still can't believe. She's saying she still can't believe she's lost. Mary, आपको अभी भी believe नहीं हो रहा, आप रो भी रहे हो?
No. Actually, I still can't believe. मैं अभी तक विश्वास नहीं है. मैं तो easily निकाल दिया करके. You know, even everybody is seen the match. Even my entire world have seen the match. Who is winning? Even what's happening, task force and you know, IOC have done. Actually, I thought I am clearly winning.
Even आप जब प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आए तब भी आपको लगा कि आप जीत गए?
हाँ, yes, I still वो मैं तो आराम से ये तो मैच ही तो मैं मतलब मेरे को जीता हुआ करके आराम से प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस दिया हूँ.
मेरी बाकी लोगों को भी आपसे बात करना है. एक ही सवाल मैं पूछ लूँगा, आप छोड़ तो नहीं दोगे मैच? आप खेलोगे ना बॉक्सिंग? छोड़ना नहीं है?
तो मतलब मेरे 40 साल तक खेलूंगी और of course it's very you know, this match was very unfortunate. Decision was.
So will we protest? आप protest करोगे?
Already they clearly said, you know, in since the beginning they could not single protest. They will not accept anything. ये सारे clear कर दिया था क्योंकि ये ओलंपिक में हो सकता है तो फिर ये जापानीज को प्रोटेस्ट करेगा तो वो चांसेस ही नहीं है.
ठीक है मैरी, all I will say is wish you the best. आप हमारे लिए always champion रहेंगे, please.
I thought I will beg, you know, with the medal. I don't know what's wrong. I can't still, you know, believe myself. I know I am losing the match. Okay. Even I don't know. The whole country knows. Whole countries maybe decide who is winning.
So there it is from Mary. You've seen what she's saying.